What's up, guys, and welcome back to McGee's Garage. Today we have the Roxor on the channel. A little bit of a minute since we've had the Roxor on, and I'm just basically going to be going over if it was a mistake to buy the Roxor, and maybe you watch this video before buying a Roxor to see if it's the right fit for you. Now, if you don't know what a Roxor is, Mahindra, the tractor company, has the licensing to reproduce the Willys Jeeps. They call them the Thar in other countries, and they're passenger vehicles in pretty much every other country except for America, because this country they don't allow them, but literally everywhere else they do. You can still get a Willys Jeep registered on the street in this country, which is actually probably going to be worse crash testing considering they don't have roll bars and whatever. Anyway, we're not going to get into that, but this particular Roxor is a 2022. We've had a couple little issues with it, just stuff that you should know about. Parts availability, for one, is a problem on these. You can't just go to the store and get a water pump for one of these things. It's not going to happen. A lot of people will go, oh, well, it's a tractor motor, it's going to go to the Mahindra dealer or whatever, and I can get a part for it. Not true. These are not tractor motors. This is out of the Mahindra automobile division, so they're not tractor motors. You're probably not going to find much that interchanges between a tractor inline-4 diesel and a Roxor inline-4 diesel, especially not the current ones. This is a 22, so it's got a different motor than the new Roxor. I don't know what they're calling them, HDs, I think, heavy duty, I don't know. But they have a different motor, and tuning is available for this generation Roxor. This is the last year, I believe, before they came out with the new motor. As far as I know, tuning is not available for the new Roxor. A couple things to keep in mind if you're looking at purchasing one of these. Do not think that they ride like another commercially available side-by-side, like a Razor or a Can-Am X3 or something like that, because they don't. Those are A-arm independent suspension vehicles on coilovers. The Roxors are on leaf springs. Some people like that because it's rugged, it's tough, it's probably not going to break within reason, and the side-by-sides break all the time. So that being said, that's not completely... That doesn't mean that the Roxor doesn't break. I'm just saying it breaks less than a traditional side-by-side. Now, a lot of people, they register these things for the street through Dirt Legal or Montana tags. I don't personally recommend that, because there are a lot of states that are cracking down on it. Florida is one of them, which is where I'm from. Texas is one of the worst, from what I hear. All you got to do is just really join one of the street legal side-by-side groups, and every day somebody posts in there. I got pulled over, I had to haul it, my stuff got impounded, whatever. Some people get arrested depending on the circumstances. There might be other stuff going on there, but just saying. Something to keep in mind on the Roxor, especially if you're going to run larger tires. The Roxor is just kind of speeder tires right now, which are the stock wheels with just some 32s on it. And if you're going to run large wheels, the steering is garbage on the Roxor. So it's not strong. It's not meant for lifting the Roxor. It does not shine at high angle applications or high stress applications. You're going to bend those immediately. So what you can do, there are some parts kits. You can go on Diesel Freaks and get steering upgrade kits, or you can make your own. It's not that bad. As you can see, this Roxor has had upgraded steering. We went double shear off of the knuckle there, and then it goes, the main steering arm goes above the leaf spring, and then the actual tie rod goes underneath the leaf springs. And if you do make these, you're going to want to go with the offset heims to clear the differential cover when you're steering. I don't know of a low pro diff cover for a Roxor that's currently being made. Some other diff cover might work, but as far as I know, there's no real replacement for this for clearancing. So going back to registration on these vehicles, you want to keep in mind that these do not come with blinker stock, and then you can get an XTC kit with hazard lights and blinkers and wire it into your Roxor. So, you know, if I put this up here, see, it's got blinkers. So if you come around back here now, see? And that's not a feature that is available on the Roxors, as far as I know, at least not when I got this one. Going back to street driving a Roxor, you definitely want to get the blinkers. You want to make sure that you're legal in your state. Now, I'm not like I said, I don't recommend the out-of-state UTV tags or quadricycles or whatever they're doing. But I'm also not going to tell you to do anything illegal. That being said, every time I pull it up and somebody's seen it, they always say nice Jeep. So saying it looks like a Jeep. Saying so the biggest problem with the Roxor that we've actually had here at McGee's Garage is our turbo sheared the shaft in half, and the propeller on the exhaust side actually fell down into the exhaust. Had to go fishing for it. Oil was everywhere. It was bad. Turbo it was so bad. Now we replaced it with a RX-41 turbo, which is the largest OEM replacement turbo you can get for these that bolt on through Diesel Freaks. They're probably your best bet. That or what's the other one? I want to say it's Yukon Gear. Does a lot of Roxor parts too. But those are your best bets for Roxor parts, both OEM and aftermarket. Your dealer is probably not going to be too interested in selling you parts, just from what I've heard from other people. Now, personally, I've never gone into a Roxor dealer and asked for parts because I've just heard so many horror stories with warranty claims and parts availability and such. They're kind of like a Bentley dealer. They want to sell you the vehicle, and they want you to experience that vehicle for a set amount of time, and then after that you should really get rid of it. In their eyes, it's not their problem anymore. They've washed their hands of it. There's no real dealer support for these, especially on a local basis, unless you happen to be near Diesel Freaks. So another thing to note, if you're looking at buying one of these, they do have a full steel body, and that's pretty cool. Just based on the toughness of it. You know, you see UTVs, their bodies are plastic, it's whatever. But that also means that if you run it into a tree, you're going to have to find Roxor fenders and hoods or whatever, and that is going to be nothing short of a nightmare. In fact, you're probably going to have to just buy another one. If you wreck it bad enough, you're probably just going to have to buy another one. You can't even throw a CJ tub on it because the Roxor tub is 4 inches longer than a CJ tub. And don't say YJ tub because it's the same tub as a CJ. So there's that. That being said, it's been pretty dang reliable. Especially, I do recommend you take the emission stuff off immediately. Now, we personally made in-house caps and everything. I believe you can purchase those, but they're very simple to make. Hint, hint. We don't sell anything for Roxors. So this is what we're looking at on the engine. And what you're going to want to do is there's this cap here and it goes on the EGR. Get rid of the EGR, cap that. You can put a boost gauge there too, like we did. And then once you have completely gotten rid of all your emission stuff, there's also a cat back there too. You can get a pipe that just bolts right in for like 70 bucks where the cat was. It's not hard to delete these. You're going to want to go to Diesel Freaks, send them you, and they will tune it for you to add horsepower and torque and get rid of the speed limiter. They're speed limited to 55. Then you can run it with more horsepower, more torque, more speed, and you don't have emissions anymore. And that's what I recommend for people that are really planning on driving these off the farm or to and from your farm properties, depending on what you're doing exactly. I also recommend, if you're going to be running high boost, you should get one of these. This is it's a silicone boot that goes onto this. This is a boost leak location on the stock ones. It leaks right here because it kind of has just a boot that goes over the intake, and they leak boost like crazy. So you can go, Diesel Freaks also makes this, and replace that with this billet alternative that doesn't, honestly, this might leak a little bit, but it's nothing close to what was originally there. What was there was really bad. So if you're going to buy one of these, I kind of recommend getting a 2022 or before, just because it has an engine that already currently has tuning available. And it's also a little bit cheaper. They've gotten a little bit more expensive. Like in 2022, one of these would run you about $22,000 out the door. Now, you know, they're a little bit over that, not by much, not enough to really make a difference. But if you buy one that was made 2022 or before, you can just jump right into the tuning aspect of it. And the new ones, you don't really see any tuning for it currently. Now, I do know people are working on it, but at this moment in time, there's no tuning available. So other than that, they're pretty easy to work on. They're about as complicated as pretty much any small diesel that you could work on. They're not that hard. Don't be intimidated by a diesel, but And the other issue is if you don't work on it, there's not really anybody to work on it aside from like just a few shops. Even today I go to a Jeep shop and a lot of the times they've never even heard of a Roxor. So that's just something to keep in mind. They're not a vehicle for everyone. If you want to just hop in it and go and do and stuff like that, I would kind of recommend getting an older Jeep. But if the diesel part doesn't scare you, and if you want something like this that's just a real throwback but brand new, this is a really good option. People that want something like that. They shift nice. I don't think you can get an automatic Roxor anymore. I believe now they're all manual, which is pretty rare for vehicles at this moment in time. Automatic Roxors are out there, but they're few and far between. I don't know of one. They're actually pretty dang rare. You don't see them really. But yeah, that's just the short video of the Roxor. If you'd like to, before you buy a Roxor, that's just the short video on before you buy a Roxor. Just some things that you should be aware of, maybe some things you didn't know about, some things that people may not have touched on. The Roxor is a great vehicle for a very certain specific market. If you don't fit into that market, it might not fit for you. But if you would like to see more Roxor content, you can go on my channel. I have a ton of videos on this Roxor, and I really think that hopefully you might have learned something about the Roxor. And that's all I have time for today, and I will see you guys in the next one. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. It means the world to me when you guys subscribe. So I'll see y'all later.